What are kind of some of your takeaways from Charleston?
God, it seems like forever ago. Number one, I mean, we've got to be consistent with our defensive effort and our discipline. We'll hold a team to, 19 points in 16 minutes, and then all of a sudden that last 4 minutes we'll give up 10, 12, 14, 16, 20 points, and that there's no rhyme or reason as to why we do it, other than this team has to get over itself. We'll get frustrated with the officials, or we'll get frustrated with our team, or because someone took a bad shot or someone missed us on an opportunity to get a shot, and we'll let that affect the other end. And so we've got to get past all of that, get past ourselves, and be consistent with our defensive effort.
What's kind of the last week look like? How have the guys responded?
Yeah, they've been good. I mean, we worked a lot on defense all week. Obviously, our numbers defensively just aren't where they need to be. We score the ball fine. We've, especially when we shoot the ball well. We've got to eliminate those highs and lows. You can't come out and make 7 of 10 one night and then 1 of 10 the next night. It's just not acceptable. You've got to be more even keeled. But we've spent a lot of time this week working on defense and trying to get better there.
You mentioned, allowing the runs and the points at the end of the game. Before you went, you said this was a big trip because it kind of gives you a Big 12 tournament feel, an NCAA tournament feel. Is there anything you learned about your team that maybe you didn't know beforehand?
Well, you can't lose the first game where you're going to get sent home from Kansas City, so that'd be the first thing that we had to talk about. But, I just, at the end of the trip, I felt like we got closer as a family, as a unit. I felt that we came together during times of adversity. With that being said, we need to eliminate the adversity, because the adversity is typically brought on by ourselves. And so we've got to continue to eliminate that each and every day. We got to eliminate it in practice first, and then you got to eliminate it in the game. And that's our biggest struggle still at this point.
Before the tournament, you mentioned you were still kind of looking for the guy who's kind of be the on-court coach and step up as a leader. Do you feel like you've gotten closer to maybe seeing who that guy is?
And it depends upon the time. I think there's certain times within a game where we have really good internal leadership, and then I think there's certain times in the game where it's non-existent. And every team across the country is going to have some sort of drop, right? But it can't be from here to here.
Yeah.
It has to go from here to here. Because if you drop from here to here in the Big 12, you're going to go from being in the game to the game being over, and you have no chance to recover because teams are just so good. With that being said, I thought that Charleston was great, man. There was opportunities to close people out, and we didn't do it. And then there was another opportunity to close somebody out, and we did it. And then against Nevada, you're playing from behind. And you come back and you cut it to 4 with 3 minutes to go, but you don't finish off the game. So, obviously we experienced the spectrum there while we were in Charleston.
Was it good to get to face a team as tall as Nevada, just kind of prepare for what it'll be like in the Big 12?
Yeah, absolutely. Nevada's a good team. That's an NCAA tournament team in my mind. The analytics say that, and after playing them, I absolutely agree with that. They just pose so many issues for you because they have such size at the guard, and obviously we don't. But with that being said, like I tell those little guys all the time, doesn't mean that just because they're 6-8 inches taller than you doesn't mean that you can't affect their game with your speed, your quickness, your tenacity, your grit, your toughness, and all those sorts of things. So it was a good experience. It was a good experience, and I thought that Nevada exposed it, some things for us that we really needed to work on, and that's what you go to those tournaments for.
You guys' defense is obviously pretty aggressive stylistically. A game with 81 free throw shot, does that change anything moving forward, or you just cast that as an outlier?
I call that an outlier because and we do foul a lot because we are so aggressive, but that number of foul shots against FAU is unheard of. With that being said, that was and I said this in the postgame, it was a veteran crew, a good crew, but from the top of my bench to the end of the bench, from the top of FAU's bench to the end of their bench, and from official number 1 to official number 3, everyone was frustrated with that game. It was a bloodbath in terms of just fouls called.
Is there something you can learn about your team through a game that nobody's really played like that before?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it allowed us to put different combinations on the floor, right? I thought that was good. And, down the stretch, it allowed us to have, lineups on there that we normally don't have, and to see if they can close it out. I mean, you're always trying to test these guys and put them in a position to see if they're going to answer the bell. And unfortunately, against FAU, we did not. But yeah, I think it was great to have different combos there.
Tulsa game, you'll probably have a lot of OSU fans there that maybe don't travel over to Stillwater all the time. How important is kind of this game and playing well in front of a group that maybe you could bring over from Tulsa to Stillwater?
Yeah, well, I mean, I expect us to have a great crowd. I mean, Tulsa is arguably one of our biggest fan bases. We've had a good season thus far. We play hard, we play the right way. I would like to think that most people are pleased with our product other than the 2 losses. So yeah, I would expect us to have a great crowd. I'll be very disappointed if we don't outnumber Tulsa fans in their own gym. Let's be honest, we're playing Oral Roberts, we're playing Tulsa, we're playing Oklahoma. I mean, you're playing every Division I school in the state. And if you have any pride about yourself, you should want to dominate all of those schools, and you should want to win all of those games so that you have bragging rights within your state. And it starts on Wednesday. That's the first of the 3 games. So I'd be really disappointed if we don't play well, if we don't play hard, and our fans aren't there to support us.
Kind of a extended period off. How do you kind of expect your guys to respond? Do you like that they had maybe a little bit of time after Charleston?
No, I don't. I would rather have had a game in between now and Charleston, but that's the way the schedule was set up, somewhat prior to our arrival, and then just the way the games unfolded. With that being said, Charleston exposed a lot of inefficiencies for us, right? So we had a chance to work on those and hopefully get better at that. And on Wednesday at Tulsa, we should have a chance to showcase that a little bit more.
What have you guys learned about the Tulsa and the team?
Tulsa's good. Yeah, they shoot a lot of layups and a lot of threes. The analytics tell you that they're very efficient and they take very good shots. Obviously, layups and threes are your most efficient shots. They do a really good job of getting to the free throw line. So it'll be a good test for us in terms of, all right, can we guard another team that's aggressive in driving the basketball without fouling them and putting them to the line, 50 times. Obviously we did not do well with that in Charleston. Little bit undersized maybe in the interior, but they've got good players. Coach Conkle's a very good coach. They run a lot of different sets, a lot of different actions. So yeah, we'll have to, we'll have our hands full, but we'll have to worry about us. You know what I mean? Like, we have to go into that game with the mindset that we have to be the aggressor, and we have to play without fouling, yet still disrupt their offense.